This video is going to contain spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you don't want to be spoiled, get out now. I'm about to rant a lot. I honestly don't even know where to start with Brand New Day. So let's just start at the very beginning. The thing that I loved about Brand New Day is it's a time skip. A genuine time skip, and not just a time skip where you have to wonder what's going on. No, 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 no. You see exactly what Peter has been up to. You hear his thoughts, you see his actions, and Gene DeWolf, amazing entry, by the way. Iconic, classic Spidey character. But you also see all of these iconic Spider-Man covers being put into the MCU style. Like, obviously, we have Amazing Fantasy #1, we have his encounter with the Tarantula, we have his encounter with Tombstone, then the Rhino, and I loved that. It just got my fanboy sense tingling. Just seeing all of it. My wife, she literally had to like smack me. She's like, Gage, you're overreacting. No, she didn't say I'm overreacting, but she's like, Gage, just trying to make a scene. Calm down. I loved seeing that this is much more of a down to earth story. It's much more street level than any Spider Man story I've seen in a while, like a long time. Because don't get me wrong, I feel like Homecoming technically could be considered street level, but at the same time, it doesn't feel that way. It really doesn't. Because all of the characters are messing with alien technology. And yeah, while yes, we are dealing with Jean Grey, who is a mutant, a very powerful mutant, she's still street level in this story. She can't really do all that much until the very end. And the fact that she got introduced in this story, that means X-Men is coming on down the line, right? Stay on topic, Gage. Spider-Man. I loved seeing the evolution of Peter and his powers because I had a theory on that it actually would be Man Spider. But I also wasn't too sure because whenever Peter's powers evolve and he gets organic webbing, that means it's either going to delve into the mystical side of things with Anansi and the Web of Life and Destiny, or it deals with the more biological side of things where you see Man Spider. And it was the more biological part of him because he's repressing the human side. So the only thing left is the spider. And that began to take over. But with him actually embracing everything, it just made him a better Spider Man. Because now he's literally more Spider while maintaining his humanity. Speaking of the organic webs, though, I loved the callback to Tobey Maguire's because he was like, well, Peter, you had organic webs. He was cool. You can be cool. You're cool. You can do this. I love that he was hyping himself up. It was going back to the street level side of things, the fact that we were introduced to the Punisher. Now, obviously, we knew the Punisher was going to be in this from the trailers. Millie, do not mess with my poster. Do not. Thank you. Okay, where was I? We knew the Punisher was going to be in this, but seeing that there is bigger history here, where Peter actually saved the Punisher on Staten Island, don't know what happened there, but there's an actual history here, and that was awesome. Listen, I'm going to be saying the word awesome, amazing, spectacular. I'm going to be saying all of the buzzwords throughout this video because it's a rant. It's not me plotting my thoughts, it's me just putting them out there because I loved everything in this movie. I love that street tier. I loved seeing the evolution of Peter and his powers. I loved seeing the evolution of Peter himself, how he's actually embracing these powers. The evolution of Peter and his relationships, him actually becoming more human. Because throughout these years where he's been all alone, as Gene said, he's turning much more into Spider Man. He's getting rid of the humanity. By getting rid of Peter Parker, there is no human to him. So only the spider can exist. But with him actually embracing his humanity and trying to build relationships, and either way, whatever way there is, Spider-Man can be much more fully fleshed out and thereby much more powerful. After Peter does take the shot for Jean, where Frank actually tries to kill her, we see two amazing references. Two. First of all, the one where Frank is carrying Peter, that's a reference to the Civil War. That's a reference to Civil War because Peter gets his ass handed to him. I can't remember what happened, but Punisher steps in and carries Peter to get him patched up. And not just that, we see a reference to Spider-Man 1000, the issue. Okay, and in the Spider-Man 1000 issue, we see an aged up Peter Parker where he's about 60 and it's his birthday, but as things goes, he sees someone getting mugged, so he intervenes. But because he's so old, his powers aren't working the way that they need to. Mm, and he gets shot. He gets put in the hospital, and while he's waking up, while he's recovering, a whole crowd of people come outside to cheer him on, to see him, to bring him gifts. And we see so many of them visiting with him saying, "You saved my little puppy. You saved me as a little girl." Or, "You saved my dad," or whatever it was. We see so many people lining up to cheer him on, to give their support because he could die. And I loved seeing these two references. I loved it so much. I raved to Katie about it. Finally, the last thing I want to rave about before I give a quote unquote conclusion to this, that end credit scene. That end credit scene, I'm not joking when I say this. I think it's leading to Secret Wars. It's leading to Secret Wars. Now, okay, I don't know anything about the original Secret Wars. I don't. But obviously, that's where Peter gets the black suit, right? What makes me think that this is going to be Secret Wars? The 2015 iteration of Secret Wars. Battle World. And not just any Battle World, the one that Doctor Doom created after obtaining the powers of Molecule Man. Who is showing up soon? Doctor Doom! Hmm. And not just that, but with the end credit scene, we see the Spider-Man tracker and he's just going off, 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 off. He's in the middle of space. That makes no sense because Peter doesn't really go off into space in the comics. He just doesn't. Unless he's on a mission. But it can't be the recent mission in the comics because, okay, one, I don't know much about that. I need to catch up on Peter's comics. But it's not that. He doesn't have the crew for that yet. And I don't think anyone trusts him enough for that yet either. But Peter does make an appearance in Battle World 2015. And what better way to introduce the symbiote than in Secret Wars? A, tr- a traditional way of getting the symbiote. Never before seen in live action or in cartoons. It's never been seen in a show or anywhere except the comics. And it was a one-time gig too. I'm excited. This is my conclusion. Genuinely, this is my overall thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. This movie is the tribute to Spider-Man. Not just a tribute to Spider-Man, the tribute to Spidey. Because we see so much of who Spidey is in this movie. And if my little boy Elliot sees this as his first Spider-Man movie, I'll be happy. Because this movie is who Spider-Man is. He's someone who cares. He's someone who deals with so much struggles, yet evolves and keeps on pushing through anyways. It might take him a while to recover, yes, but he recovers. He keeps pushing forward. If I had to give a statement on this movie, on how much I loved it or how much I hated it, I loved this movie, and the reason why is because this is not just a tribute to Spider-Man. I think it is the tribute to Spider-Man. It's the tribute movie. No, 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 not the. It is the tribute movie to Spider-Man because so many iconic moments from the comics we see. And yes, that's Flash, and that's fan service, but that's the point. And the story itself, that is pure Spider-Man. We see him struggle, we see him evolve, we see him take his struggles and punch it forward anyways. We see him keep on going despite the struggles. And while, yes, he does lean into it too much at times because that's what Peter does, that's the Parker luck. Even though he does lean too much into it at times, he's able to become better after these struggles. He's able to learn and become the person he's meant to be. Am I saying that this is a perfect Spider-Man movie? No. But I do think it is damn near perfect. And if I had to give a recommendation to my son for his first Spider-Man movie, this would be almost my first consideration. Genuinely. No, it's not an origin story per se, but at the same time, it shows the cool factor of Spidey that he kicks ass, but that he's human. It shows that he's human. And even though my son may not be able to process it during that first watch, because I don't know when he'll get into it, if he ever does, but this shows everything important about Spider Man. And what better way to judge a Spider Man movie than by seeing who Spider Man is? If you manage to stick around for this long, you may as well subscribe and hit that notification bell because I love making content like this. I share popular media and lesser known media. So, once again, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys soon.